I am wearing this mask so that you will not gaze upon my hideous visage. Fuck, never mind.
Hi. I am the Amazing Atheist, aka the God of the Godless, aka the Sultan of Secularism, aka the Emperor of Existentialism, aka the Ayatollah of Absurdism, aka the fat guy who's always ranting on the internet. You know how he is. You know how he is, folks. He's a wretch. An interminable fucking wretch. Ooh, yeah. Anyway, how you guys been, huh? How's everybody doing? How y'all doing tonight? YouTube, woo! Yeah, okay. You doing good? Doing good? How am I? My life is a pile of shit! And I'm a miserable fuck. But, you know, I really wouldn't have it any other way, you know? Really wouldn't have it any other way except good. I'd have it good, you know, and giant dick, just threateningly large dick that I could just, I could fucking beat people with, you know? And probably a better face, do something about this situation, like this double chin, that's gotta go. You know, just gonna be like, it's maybe a little thinner, you know, lot thinner, you know, maybe some muscle, that'd be cool, you know, and stronger spine, asshole that doesn't have hemorrhoids in it, you know, more dynamic, more intelligent, more magnetic, charismatic, whatever, all that stuff. I guess that if I could make a few minor adjustments, I might do those things. But other than that, wouldn't change any. Oh, and I'd be rich. Other than that, I wouldn't change anything. Other than that, wouldn't change a god damn thing. You know? Yeah, anyway, that's enough. What is this? Vamping, mugging, whatever. Yeah. Anyway, I'm gonna drink some of this diet soda. Yeah. This is good stuff. Yeah. Not as good as a real soda, but it's good. It's good. So anyway, probably wondering why I brought you here to this video. And, there's a YouTube channel. I really like it. It's called School of Life. That's what it's called. School of Life. Okay, I don't know what I'm doing there. Anyway, School of Life, and I like it because it's my favorite thing is their series on Western philosophy. It's a good way to, if you want to read some philosophy, you don't want to, go overboard and shit. You just want to, dip your little toe in the philosophy pool, see what's going on, see just what's going on. Maybe find some philosophers you want to read more in depth, and but it's a good little quick crash course in any philosopher. They got ones on Nietzsche and Sartre and did I say that right? Sartre? I don't know. Camus. I don't like Camus, but whatever. And Aristotle and all the fucking major deep thinking, sort of like what is life, that kind of fucking shit. It's all there, and it's cool. I like reading. I'm not reading. I mean, let's watch it. Let's see what's going on and stuff. It's a good channel. But today I have to kind of shit on it, because they put out a video called "Why Religious Beliefs Aren't Silly." I know I'm silly, but religious beliefs are silly too. I've always believed that. It's one of my beliefs. So, let's see what they got, though, because, I'm doing, I changed my name back recently, The Amazing Atheist, change it back, change it back. Used to be TJ Kirk for like a year, And, people ask why don't you TJ Kirk no more? And it's just because it didn't work. It fucking sucked. It sucked dick. So it's over. I mean, not every video I made under that name sucked dick, but, a lot of them did. So, I'm back doing this. Hopefully this is better. Shouldn't smoke inside, It's bad. It's bad for the ceilings, walls. It's bad for sensitive fucking microphone equipment and shit. But damn, it's good. Woo!
At one point in the Bible, Jesus goes into the house of a man called Jairus, whose 12-year-old daughter has just died. Everyone is weeping and lamenting, but Jesus calmly says that she's not dead, she's just asleep. "Little girl, I say to you, get up," he says. We shouldn't laugh or dismiss the whole thing as nonsense. When your child is very sick, you may well end up believing in miracles, because at the end of the day, under immense psychological pressures, you love your child more than you care about the laws of physics and biology. Religious beliefs are of course technically false, but they're coming from a very tender and vulnerable place which needs our empathy. Of course atheists are technically right, but there's no point getting maddened by the apparent irrationality of the religious. We have to understand it and appreciate the intensity of the longings that lead some of us to believe in fantasies against all odds, because reality is sometimes just unbearably painful.
Pretty fucking disappointed by the argument made by School of Life there. Is a little lacking, don't you think? It's kind of a emotional appeal, and it's all about, I've heard it before, it's, from such an intellectually sort of interesting channel to just put out this dog shit that you hear from every fucking apologist in the world, every fucking armchair apologist too, not even like the highfalutin big apologists, but just like your fucking cranky old grandma or some shit, like, well, it gives people comfort. Oh, it gives people comfort. Religion gives people comfort, you guys. Did you know that? Did you know that religion gives people comfort? So, I guess that's it. Case closed. Believe whatever you want, long as it gives you comfort. Hey, remember at the beginning of this video when I talked about all the stuff I'd like to change about myself? How I want a big dick, and I want to be svelte and taut with muscle, and gorgeous in the face, and rich and charismatic, and all that stuff. Remember when I said all that? Well, it would give me great comfort to believe that all that stuff is true. But you know what? It's not. It's not true. Oh, shit, it's not true, though. Not true. So the fact that it gives me comfort, does that make it okay to believe? I don't know. Well, it's a far cry from losing your child, though, What about the child? The Christian loses their child, and they are so comforted by the belief that their child is up in heaven. Oh, little Junior, he's up there in heaven right now playing kick the can with the angels. Except he's not. He's not, though. He's not feasting up in heaven. He's being feasted on in the ground by the ants, by the worms. He's decaying. He's rotting. He's fucking unconscious. His consciousness has ceased. He's fucking dead. He's dead. That's what happened. He died. He fucking died. He doesn't exist anymore. He's dead. If we're going to talk about the comfort provided by religion, I think it's also fair to talk about the discomfort provided by religion. Don't you? I think it's fair. What about the atheist kid living in the Christian household who's afraid to tell his folks that he don't fucking believe or she don't fucking believe because they're afraid that they'll be disowned? What about the atheist kid who wasn't afraid to tell their parents and was disowned? What about the gay kid in the same fucking boat? What about the woman seeking an abortion, but the nearest clinic is 400 miles away because of Republican legislatures acting on the behalf of the religious? And yeah, I know there's secular opponents to abortion, but you have to admit the main thrust, which is how the pregnancy happened in the first place, am I right? The main thrust of opposition to abortion comes from Christians, comes from the religious, comes from the idea that God is up there somewhere giving a shit, right? What about all those people and many more? Doesn't the discomfort of those people who are in the predicament they're in because of religion also count for something? Huh? Let me tell you another reason I don't like this argument. Because it does. I mean, like, I'm against the death penalty. I don't know what your feelings are on it, but whatever. It doesn't matter. It's not the subject here today, but it's just an example. I'm against the death penalty, and a lot of times people will bring up this argument like, well, what if your mom was murdered? Wouldn't you want the son of a bitch who did it to die as well? Wouldn't you want that? It's like, well, maybe if I was put in that emotionally compromising situation and I could no longer be rational because I'm overcome with emotions, then yeah, maybe I would want that. Maybe I would. But what does that really prove? What kind of argument is it? Hey, what if you were put in this really difficult, emotionally compromising situation? Would you still adhere to this belief then? I mean, I'd try to. I'd like to think that I would try to. But you know what? If you're put in an emotionally stressful situation, who knows how the fuck you're going to react? And this is the same fucking thing. You find the most emotional possible situation where you wouldn't want to disagree with someone's beliefs. You turn it to the point of the death of their child. Their child is dead, and they're like, well, at least they're up in heaven. Yeah, of course, very few people would go up to that parent and be like, no, they're not. Bullshit. It's all a bunch of irrational, superstitious nonsense. Very few people would do that. See, you have an interpretation of the way that religion interacts with bereavement that I fundamentally disagree with. You view religion as this balm, this nice, soothing balm that you can put on your broken heart and, oh, it feels a little better. It feels marginally better when I lie to myself about what's really happened. And how could you take that balm away from people when they're suffering? That's not how I view it. I view it like this. I view religion as predatory against those people. Because, yeah, it'll give you that comfort, but what price is attached to that comfort? The price you pay for that comfort is, first of all, you surrender independent thought to dogma. You let them decide how you're going to raise your family, how you're going to raise your kids, how you're going to interact with other people, what you're allowed to do, what you're not allowed to do. It comes with dogma, and it comes with collection plates. And you know what? There's nothing wrong with the collection plate, okay? There's nothing wrong with it. I ask for money. In fact, I'll ask for it right now. I got a PayPal and a Patreon down there. But you know what? You know what I'm offering when I pass the collection plate and say, hey, support me on Patreon, support me on PayPal. You know what I'm offering? I'm offering this tangible fucking thing. Here's a video. Here's me doing that little monkey dance that you like to see me do. I'm doing the fucking dance for them. And then I pass it around. You know what religion offers for that money? Which is tax exempt, by the way. You know what they offer? They offer a magical palace in the sky, and it's going to be paradise. It's going to be awesome, and it's going to be wonderful. Oh, that's great. When do we get it? As soon as you're dead. As soon as you're dead, you get it. You're making down payments on an intangible fucking thing that you'll never see, that you'll never experience. You know why you'll never experience it? Because you're fucking dead. Meanwhile, the pastor's got a nice new car. The pastor's got a nice big house. Sometimes, if he's a big enough pastor, preacher, whatever, he's got his own private fucking jet. Sometimes more than one. He's got a big old fucking mansion. He's not waiting for his mansion in the fucking sky. He's got a mansion here on motherfucking earth. Funny how that works. All the people in the fucking audience, in the pews, they get a mansion in heaven, but the pastor gets a mansion right now. What's going on there? And you know, ultimately, this irrational belief that your child is up in heaven, that ain't doing these bereaved parents any fucking good. Because how can they really accept what's happened if they don't understand the reality of what's happened? Maybe you shouldn't be comforted. Maybe you should suffer. Maybe you should cry. Maybe you should feel broken up and horrible inside. Why shouldn't you? Your child is dead. Of course you should be sad. Of course that should hurt. Of course that should break you into little fucking pieces and stomp on them and piss on them and shit on them and spit on them. Of course you should feel like 10 pounds of shit in a fucking 16-ounce Ziploc bag. Why shouldn't you? You've just suffered one of the worst tragedies that a person can possibly suffer. And look, no one truly believes 100% in heaven. All of these Christians have their doubts, whether they say them aloud or they don't. So all you're doing is creating a conflict in this parent's mind where they're going to be like, oh, they're in heaven, oh, they're in heaven, oh, they're in heaven. And part of them's be like, no, they're not. Yes, they are, yes, they are, yes, they are, yes, they are. No, they're not. Yes, they are, yes, they are, yes, they are, yes, they are. God is real, 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 God is real. Please let little Billy be up there in heaven. No, I'm sorry. But sometimes, and in fact, a lot of times, the world is a harsh, unforgiving fucking place. And sometimes something really horrible happens. And you know what you have to do? You have to come to terms with it. And to say that some people just aren't capable of coming to terms with it, well, if they're not, then they're not. If they're not, then they're not. But that doesn't give you an excuse to validate delusional thinking. That doesn't give you an excuse to validate a system of belief that has horrible repercussions for our entire society, that influences law, that influences politics, that influences social systems in profound ways, that causes families to break apart, that causes children to be rejected by their parents, that causes people to hate each other, that causes people to condemn each other. It does nothing but tear people apart under the guise of bringing them together. And it does do that to an extent. It is a social adhesive. The meme of Christianity, the meme of Islam, the meme of whatever different religion exists. Yeah, it brings people together, but it brings them together with an imperative. And that imperative almost invariably is to convert others, to force others into thinking the way they do. And even the ones who aren't in your face about it, even the ones who don't go around and say, become a Catholic, become a this, become a that, even the ones who don't do that, they're still contributing to that because they validate that. Because they say, yeah, God is real. Because if they say, no, God's not real, then, oh, that means little Billy isn't in heaven. That means there is no heaven. That means there is no hell. That means that all there is this world. And you know what? I don't think it's healthy for people to spend their entire lives thinking that this is just practice. This is just a test. No, this is it. This is all you get. This is the only life you're ever going to have. You might as well make the fucking most of it. And if you allow people to step aside from that, to say, oh, well, this world isn't the world that really matters. It's the next world that really matters. Then you're not doing them a service. No matter how much temporary comfort it provides in the short term in some emotionally charged situation, that doesn't mean that it's good for them overall. Something really predictable happens when you allow people to hold irrational beliefs. They behave irrationally. They don't make decisions based on what's best for them in the here and now. They make decisions based on getting to paradise, and they squander their lives away. And that's not a fate that we should want to see anyone consigned to. That's not a way in which we would like to see anyone taken advantage of. That's my take. What's that? What's that I hear? Oh, is that the sound of me being right? Yet again? It is, isn't it? Oh, I hear another sound. Oh, that's the sound of you being wrong.